here, but Razi, who had the high ground and some impulses, is trying to
So, und damit herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Leistung auf meinem Kanal. Heute schauen wir uns World Cup Solo an. Hier jetzt mit Race. Oh, schmackhaft.
Negate fall damage with the flint knock. It's actually one of the most versatile tools in the game, or weapons. So here comes the headshot right there, and Mitch goes down. And now it's off to build again as he's trying to save his high positioning here.
So, noch 200 Metz für ihn.
One flint to the body when you're in the high ground and you're getting chucked off those builds. Probably guaranteed to get eliminated at that point.
So Razy just more than happy and going back over all these old builds, so not even having to reinforce this. It's already fully built, it looks like brick and metal. Castery, Nort, Snowy, Finn, all on low ground. Razy's having a time of their life up top. Top 5, so now the only placement points remaining come from getting a victory royale. As now Nort will build on out, staying ahead of the zone. Good job holding these back edits. Here's this rocket launcher getting reloaded, and that is just a terrifying sound this late in the game. Big damage coming through. Shields have been shattered on this player.
Jemand hat seinen Rocket Launcher nachgeladen. Oh,
He's stuck. He's stuck. Oh no, he is stuck in Nork. Oh gosh. What?
It rotates back around into him, so Nork's now ahead of the zone. This is going to give him another opportunity to stay in it. Can he win the exchange? Breaks the trap in time. Jumps out and Castery goes from 200 to 0.
Ups, Leute, Sekunde. Ach, Digga, was ist das denn jetzt? Digga, wie lange lädt der Stream immer noch, Digga? Lul. Wer ist der Erste so? Lol, Digga. Man gerade ist auf 3. Platz gestiegen. Vorhin war er 6. Stompy 4. GG. Ja, schmeckt. Ich will wieder in den Stream rein. Boah, ey. Wie lang lädt dieser scheiß Stream? Null. Mein Videostream lädt. Ha. Richtig lustig. Was ist das? Okay, Google. Ja, moin. Bin nicht eingespült. Okay, ja. Ach, Digga. Ja. Dieses andere Lost. Andere. Lol. Was ein Bot da unten. Er hat einfach einen Rocket Launcher. Also bottiger geht's, wenn er spielt da. Hä? Ey, was war das gerade für ein Bug? Was war das gerade für ein Bug? Rakete explodiert nicht mehr, Digga. Was war das für ein Bug, Digga? Ist doch unfeierlich, so solch ein Bug mit dazu erleben, Digga. Unfeierlich, sag's euch, Digga. Ich will jetzt mal zuschauen in diese Scheiße. Ja, hier. 1. Endlich! Was ist das denn jetzt? Oh, was für, Junge. Ist doch hinten dran gekrabbelt, sieht man doch.
Hey, what's up guys? My name's Andy. I'm the in-game director for the Fortnite World Cup qualifiers. So whenever we get into game, I take over from Joe, our broadcast director, and start cutting between all of our observers. I work with a team of 2 observers as well as a game producer, Squints, and observer director in order to try and cut the best show possible. So basically all of our observers are getting the best content during these games, and I'm sort of the one who's deciding which one goes live on air. None of this is possible by myself, so I got a lot of help from my game producer as well as my observer director.
Hey guys, I'm Jeff Rose. I am the observer director, so I work with every observer individually, make sure they get the greatest shots, the greatest stories, so that when we go to Andy and he goes and cuts the show, he makes sure that you guys are seeing the best quality content that you can.
Check out the next block of NA West. Let's see what we have in store.
Jaden had some great plays. If he is able to carry the momentum over into this one.
Are you guys curious to see how audio works for the broadcast? Let's go meet up with John.
Oh ja.
Hi, I'm John. I'm the audio
Moin, herzlich willkommen im Stream. Wir schauen gerade World Cup an.
This is the audio board. All the audio that you hear goes through my hands. This is all of our wireless microphones for all of our talent. And then right here are all of our in-ear monitors or IFBs so that I can talk to talent. Like usually it's something like, hey Zeke, turn on your mic. And then they turn on their mics. I think Zeke should have heard that right now. Did you hear that? Nice. Also, I have a window.
All done! Yay!
Day 1's done!
What are you talking about? World Cup finals over, guys, okay? I won everything.
Guys, I just want to let you know, my favorite person in...
Wow.
Which one do you think it is?
It's not me.
I'm happy to tell you.
It's not me.
It's actually Kitty Plays! Boom! Right there! You know, it's not easy making this look good. Let's go meet up with Monique, the makeup artist, to see how she gets all this done.
I don't like that guy, Zeke. He's Oh, hey! Hi, I'm Mo. I'm the makeup artist. I'm the one that makes these nerds look beautiful. Oh, Zeke. Sorry, let me just reel.
There's two people that don't get nearly enough love. They are the people who operate the cameras, and I'm going to introduce you to them.
Moin, herzlich willkommen im Stream.
That's Allison. That's Mahoney.
Es geht gleich in 1,5 Minuten weiter und dann können wir weiterschauen, gell? World Cup.
North, you know, setting up their cottage, setting up their homes.
Ready off 6, take off 6.
Can't find one.
Ready off 3, take off 3. Ready off 10, take off 10.
So. Willkommen im Stream.
We have a post-show pinata.
Ja, was ist das denn jetzt? Komm, diese 30 Sekunden, Digga. So, Leute, jetzt geht's weiter. Leute, erster Platz kriegt 10 Millionen, also schon eine Menge. So, dann let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the continued coverage of the
Ja, moin,
Fortnite
Digga.
World Cup Open Online Qualifiers. We are in
Stark
solos.
oder was?
Week
Nee,
9,
was
the
stark.
last chance
Ja,
to qualify for one of the
Ja, Courage,
biggest
ja.
competitive gaming events ever, live from New York City, the World Cup Finals. Cannot wait for it to kick off. The action today has been fantastic. And guess what? I've got great news for you. We have one of the most talented, handsome, well-spoken,
Mein Girl ist Zweiter, hab ich vorhin nachgeschaut.
I've ever met in
Stompy ist Vierter.
Dr. Lupo.
Thank you so much for that, Jack. That was I
yeah,
honestly
Dr.
think that's the
Lupa.
most genuine and heartwarming thing that you would challenge me to find any drip of sarcasm in that. But I am Sundown, joined here by Dr. Lupo, and we're about to get you into the final
Wie er
moment
sich cool
of
fühlt,
the
ja moin.
European
Würde ich auch.
region for the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers. I mean, it's been absurd so far.
The only time I think I could get Jack to say anything positive about me is if I covered my body in chicken parmesan, but we do have games ready to go. We're going to knock Europe out of the park. Hopefully we got some shenanigans from them. It's been good games already so far today.
Und diese Grafik, was ist mit der Grafik los
The
gerade?
pressure is high. The tension
Und gerade ist immer noch da.
because if you're not going to make it as a solo
With
qualifier
shots,
right now,
nice im Low Block ein bisschen, aber trotzdem.
Yeah, this is it for the first Fortnite World Cup, and now you can see Mongrel, the player who
Immer noch so ein
everyone
Skin,
thought,
Digga.
oh yeah, he's going to qualify. Well, now we're here, week 9. Is he going to qualify? Currently sitting in the 3rd place.
Was ist mit der Grafik los?
Away everything from Hawkers. You can go queue back
Es leben
up,
noch
try and get your last
36
matches
Leute.
in, as we have 25 minutes left in the region.
So, Mongrel has been seen as one of the top performers in Europe, if not the entire world, since the World Cup began. Is there, if you had to pick 3 things from his playstyle, Sundown, I know you watch so much competitive Fortnite, what would you say the 3 most important things that he does as a player?
Aber und leiten lassen wäre auf jeden Fall korrekt. So, jetzt gehen wir weiter. Mein Leben schmeckt auf jeden
Yes,
Fall.
we talk about how good he is at building, but that's because he
Boah.
puts himself in the position. When he goes to drop down and be aggressive, he's looking to hit his first shot and then trail it up right away. And because he's already aiming in those spots, he's more than likely to hit those headshots, hits the reactions. The second thing, when he decides to rotate, the timing at which he goes enables him to play more aggressive and to catch other people as they rotate. And then secondly, what he does after he gets an aim, he's always looking for another one. It's never pause, go do something else. It's immediately go find someone else, find the next target, whether I need to cover myself from them or whether I need to go aggressive.
Love to see it. Appreciate your insight on that. That's why we keep you around, plus the luscious locks of hair, obviously. Like a real-life Viking.
I hope so. I definitely think in a past life was Viking somewhere, but now Wolfie's trying to be a Viking here and push right on over into the 1x1. Gonna up against it and instead just raid and pillage that Elim away. Crinkle going down there as we now hit top.
Alessio, der gerade gleich hat.
Storm Circle 6, so incredibly tense zone and less than a minute.
Dieser richtige Abraham-Moment, Digga.
Rotate past Wolfies right here as 2 more go down and we get closer to the first placement threshold.
3 more before you hit that top 25. Rift to go, 2 launch pads.
Erstmal anonym und dann freigeben, Digga.
Mobility weapon here. Wolfie's sitting on honestly a pretty solid kit. We've seen the Flintlock as one of the most used, versatile weapons in Fortnite right now.
Ja, Alessio. Okay, willkommen im Stream.
Anything that's come close to it, to be quite honest with you, it serves so many purposes. We said before, I mean, on the cast, just to make sure that people understand, it really is. It's a very important loadout piece for players that know that they can be playing inside boxes versus others that potentially have to fall down from above, especially if they don't have a redeploy. They've got a weapon that can stop them if they have 2 builds and catch themselves on the low ground before they hit the bottom and take all that fall damage.
Zuschauer.
Applying pressure from underneath right now. Wolfie's trying to drop in his opponent. Quick replace the floor. Wolfie's looks like it was be over there to the top left. Mongrel rotating the top right of your screen for just a moment. 2 more players need to go down before we hit the threshold. I'm thinking at some point we're going to see a rift to go here from Wolfie's to reposition. Trying to
Wolfies hat 32 Punkte, schmeckt eigentlich schon, gell? Alter, Digga, 10 Millionen für den First Place, Digga, also, Digga. Alessio, das bist du.
Just gonna pop this parachute and hang out because it's 26, boom, 25, so everyone getting the 3 points there.
Und gerade ist Zweiter.
On the low ground has already double qualified.
Oh,
Stompy
ganz
as well now
belassen.
on board with Mitro here as he gets taken out by Lord Rohat, and that is monstrous.
Ey, Alessio, du bist ja noch gerade da im Stream, oder? Ich hab eine Rotation Map gebaut, gell? Also, ja, Zone Wars Map. Mit der echten Zone, mit der richtigen Zone. Nicht mit solcher Zone, wo dann immer so halt sich gerade bewegt. So richtige Zone, wo sich zum Schluss in der Mitte, ja, kreuzt. Wie die Standard, hier Ding. Map. Soll ich dir die mal zeigen? Schreib in den Chat rein.
Wolfie's an excellent example of timing the shot, timing the push. Doesn't have to move out too far ahead of the circle if he doesn't want to. You do get a little bit of that leeway. You have a chance to look back exactly as he's doing now and look for chances to take shots at players that are still on the move. Some shots from up above, that combat shotgun range, very effective. Basically the perfect range to scope in, ADS to take those shots, see if you can get full damage on it. Shot from above, third party opportunity at the fish down below. Is he going to pick it up? And he does indeed, up to 41. 3 players left. Wolfie's at 41 points, 7 eliminations, a big game already. Launch pad's gonna kind of be useless. A jump shot around the corner. Wolfie's picks up another Elim. Looking at 8 right now, and he's in a 1v1 all the way up top. The player dropping in. Spoiler. Look for any chance he can. Take an opportunity to take a shot. 25 builds, both players sitting on about the same amount of material, so it's going to go into a heads-up 1v1 here. Someone's going to drop in on the other. Wolfie's might make a climb before too long. Does have the flint knock and the launch pad if he wanted to do it. But just baiting the timing on a shot might be the most important play right now.
One thing to note though, spoiler, has the high ground, also has 5 bandages and the campfire. If it goes to a full close, which happens in 45 seconds, he will have the advantage. But I don't think we're gonna get there. Wolfies goes up with the flint knock. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner, gets the first shot. Now has the shield advantage, but loses the HP advantage as Spoiler puts himself back on the low ground. Spoiler in the top right, Wolfies in your bottom right. You can see the action on the wide. Here's that slight elevation change that's going to force Spoiler out. He goes out in the open. Wolfie 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Spoiler running out of builds, and Wolfie with the high ground retake from that flint knock, and he throws the tomato and the L dance at him afterwards, saying that's my victory royale.
Both players
running out of materials last second, basically forced.
Ja, Alessio, wenn du noch dran schreibst in den Chat, dann kann ich dir die Map zeigen, wenn du willst.
In my opinion, paid off the most, especially because you got a player forced out in the storm to try and go for a shot. That flint knock play to push yourself up in the air, such a versatile weapon. Well played there.
I feel like we've seen so much more Flintknock this week in particular. I don't know if it's because of the slight adjustment to the shotgun drop rates compared to the last solo week, but players are opting and carrying it a lot later and using it not only as the mobility component, which we've seen a lot of, but a lot more aggressively, like people pushing into boxes with Flintknocks. We saw that last Victory Royale with it, and really enjoyed seeing the different types of utility. I know you were saying how it's probably one of the most versatile weapons. I'd argue probably second only to the heavy sniper in terms of that, just because the heavy sniper literally does everything at all points in times. But I mean, just with how good these guys are with the Flint, like I can pick up a heavy sniper and get a couple elims, like that's fine. Most of the players can because it's 150 the body, but these guys make the Flintknock look just so good.
I feel like the heavy sniper is the #1 weapon for assisting other weapons and getting eliminations. Even a double heavy sniper pushing in, take the wall, push in and shotgun. The Flintknock has the movement mechanic on top of it, but it can't, like you said, it can't do things the heavy sniper can do. You can't remove a wall with it on the spot. You can't chain it into other weapons. The Flintknock, though, is you catch yourself with it. Both weapons, though, are crazy.
1A, 1B. How about that? There
Exactly.
But yeah, I definitely do agree with you. The heavy sniper enabling up, but Airwalk's right there.
Top awareness. Just love to see it.
Disables Amsdalo and gets everything from it, but needs to circle back and try and get that chug and pop it like now if he wants the HP to get off of that.
50 and 83, not too bad. Will still go down to a heavy snipe to the body. Got to look out for that. Looking for the quick angle change here. He might rotate out into the storm if he can flip this if needed. The player still sitting right through that corner. You see he's checking through the brick, holding the edit on his own ramp. Closes the outside out, decides to rotate down underneath. Take the chance here to just box up a little bit, opting not to push that player. You can't really tell how much HP and shield they potentially have, so if he does go out there, he doesn't see what we see. Only 100, maybe 99 HP. Roast in there, but Airwalk's probably, I mean, the player of this caliber could easily push into 96 and then follow through like
Airwalk's kenn ich jetzt nicht, aber ja.
Rock's got up to 3 now, 32 points, and a ton of builds.
Yeah, and he got the shadow bomb.
For
this
ton
rotation is going to be huge.
Just the one.
Yes, the one. Just the one, and is going to pop it early. Also notice you can see that storm surge threshold on the right side. So what storm surge is, once you get into these later circles for circles 6 and 7, if there's more than 30 people left in the lobby, if you have been the passive player, storm surge will begin to punish you. You will start taking 10 damage every second as it comes out through. Once those strikes come on down, and now it turns off since we're below the 30 player threshold. So now just all about the elims and the rotation, since we're not even at the placement thresholds yet.
I just want to point out quick too, as you said, for passive players, Airwalk's definitely an example of not a passive player. He was 500, a little over 500 damage above the threshold, which is insane. But it's shots like that, 80 to the back of a fish on rotation, that kept him safe from Storm Surge. Crusher goes down, Airwalk picks up his 4th elimination. One more elim, we get to the placement points here. The top 25, gonna pick up 3 there. Get the top 15, that's 5. Top 5, that's 7, and that Victory Royale is 10. Reminding everybody, if you're just jumping into the stream, maybe you haven't heard what the format is like, always going to kind of refresh that in your memory. All the way up on high ground, looked like that might have been Skype. I'm not sure if dropped in. I'm not seeing him. I believe that was him all the way up there. Number of players, though, 25 heading into the 8th circle soon, as advised. 1 elimination, 35 points. No movement here. Advantages for late game, but that's not going to pay off right now. That is going to pay off. Carrera goes down. Another one, the follow-through finds Ghosts on the move. Looking for the 3rd. The triple gets it. Exon down. 4 eliminations now for Advise. Playing absolutely incredibly. The heads up right now. You'll love to see it.
Oh, baby, a triple. Well done right there. And that was Skype up on the high ground. You saw him now just drop back down with a number of players going up, getting closer to that 2nd placement threshold. Skype picks up Yahtzee. Mick the Beast also in this lobby. Another player who we've seen constantly in the top 5, desperately trying to get a solo spot. Because, again, this is the last week. Casrola does get ticked over by that storm change. Again, 60 seconds if you damage someone. Random siphon coming through, and we're into the top 15 now with Airwalks on the mid-tarp and looking for more targets.
Imagine a situation you get a tag on someone and 50 seconds later they get eliminated by the storm. You get that siphon at just the right moment. Can be so clutch. The timing can be so important on that. 11 players left, 10 now as Sky goes down to the feed. Swaggy picks one off. 6 eliminations for Airwalks. Push through this wall, find a player on the rotation from behind. Back-to-back shots, takeoffs, gets eliminated. Airwax picks up another one.
He's doing so well at finding people on the edge of the storm, getting next to him, and then just dipping out for a second. But the one thing you notice, he never dips out into the storm for longer than enough to take more than one tick. It does take a second to go through, and Majestic actually just picked up a triple of his own because of those storm changes. One player he elim'd, 2 got ticked over from the storm. That should be the player potentially up on the high ground, but now we have our top 5. Airwalks, 2 builds left, is running with that campfire now, but is sitting on 7 elims. Advise all the way up on the high ground. Majestic was on the low ground with Mick the Beast. Airwalks in the bottom right-hand corner gets traded out by Mick the Beast. Zadek drops down in the shadow form. He's not jumping around, so the player doesn't know where he is. 80 to the body. Can he find it? Pushes through with the combat. Says, I don't need a pickaxe. I'll just take your wall anyway. Brilliantly done there, but now can he win the 1v1 from the low ground? Player is 1 box directly above him. He hears it. You see the fake ramps out. He goes up, edit off the side, takes the high ground, drops down on top of 1, 2, 3. He gets it.
Literally waiting till the last second. The fake out on the ramp with just, I think he had 1 build left at the last second. So he was literally the most, almost the most efficient he could possibly be with all the materials that he had left. Opts to move up a different ramp, throw his opponent off, drop in from above. Excellent high ground take, excellent push with the combat shotgun, and the victory royale. You love to see it.
Well done there from Zadek now. You see Marcotte and Fool right on the edge of the zone. An intense little 1v1 right now. Trap does go down defensively. Fool saying, I'm having absolutely none of that. You can see he wants to try and get the materials that are there. Trap does get broken on the other side by Marcotte. And now you get a nice little box fight. So this is one of the things, if you want to learn how to get good at competitive Fortnite, learn to fight from a box. Blows the whistle, says it's time to go.
The whistle just signal the push. Honestly, oh, that's very funny. Push in there. Fool gets 2 taps there. The shotgun follows through a 92 crit. Gets him the elimination. Double back, pick up the rest of that wood, anything that he can top off with. Oh, shots coming in from the sides. Gonna have to wall himself off, double air, and ops instead of popping the minis to shadow bomb, just because I think the fear of positioning there and exposure, maybe adding a little too much tension. Did take 1 more tap on the move. Gonna have a chance to heal up. Meanwhile, the top of this hill, thick with players, where they stacked up trying to make rotation here. 41. Waxy there from the stream. Trick Pog rotating forward.
Crew also in the match was second last time we saw him there. We got a number of dual qualifiers over on the side there. Players looking to get their solo spot. You see Kuma using the stink to try and force the player forward and then editing out. Boom, there goes the second one, knowing they can't stack in volume. And Quadra, that one smells. Go get yourself a gas mask. Try and queue back up.
Good when you're sitting on 3 elims now, holding the edit. Just gonna try and peek on through, deciding to apply a little more pressure. Oh my gosh, the back-to-back. The stink bombs, very lethal, especially at this point in the game. You have to realize these players understand if there's people that were caught rotating, got tagged up significantly, and didn't have the ability to heal, as will be the case quite often in games like this, where you have so many people in such a tight space. There's a good chance that people that are boxed up in front of you are potentially missing HP, maybe some fall damage, maybe they got hit by multiple people on rotation. They could have been, I mean, we even saw a Shadow Bomb player get shot just moments before that, and we're about 50 HP. That is a good opportunity to just chuck the stink in there, maybe do an HP check, see if they're low, and in this case, it pays off. 2 eliminations with basically no effort. And as you said before, we're looking to get the player count down to 30 before that storm surge goes away. We're sitting at 38 above for Dave, 32 players left, so 2 more need to go down.
Oop, boxes the baller in. The baller is going to just boost right on out, says I want nothing to do with that. Now you can see on the side, Dave getting another tag there. You see that threshold number also going up. Needs to be conscious. He left that edit open, but the player, because his back is to the storm, isn't going to have time to take shots towards him. So well played from Dave. Other player pushes it, and Tripburn from Singularity kind of caught a little bit there. Seemed like he was going for an aggro play, but
I think potentially he expected Dave to not look back because, oh, the catch. Good grab there. Tripburn, I feel like was thinking, okay, Dave's not looking at me. I'm just going to step out. I have the angle. I'm going to take the shots from this side. And ended up kind of getting clapped very quickly. Dave's reaction, rotation down there. I'm not sure how to say that name. I'm just going to put that out. It looks like a sneeze. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not even, I normally even try and attempt on that, but we're in the top 25. Let's pay attention to the rotations. As you see, a number of players playing billiards there on the low ground, crew up on the high ground. You have WGS Jag, the player from South Korea, playing over in Europe right now. This is the most ballers I've seen in the lobby in forever.
The most ballers I've seen in a game easily this weekend.
I mean, I don't think we saw this many ballers in Europe when they were at 100 health. Europe has an affinity or like a particular hatred towards ballers rolling around.
We've made comments in the past about how they always seem to be fans of taking shots at players that are in ballers on the move when they have an opportunity to. Maybe a follow through here, the back-to-back, can't quite find it. But yeah, look at how many are left out on the field. This is a very rare sight for European qualifiers.
I mean, and it kind of compounds on top of itself because the more players who are in ballers, they aren't going to take shots at each other. And if you're not going to waste shots on baller players, you're not going to eliminate them. So, but once the explodes start coming out, that's when things get dicey because the RPGs can damage through the ballers, and with the 150 HP, one AR round into them, and then followed by an RPG to be a ton of damage. But now Pill is just going to go to work, ignore the ballers on the low ground, running around like they're a game of marbles, and he finds Trockley, and he finds Elocrats right after.
13 players left. Still in the rotation here, taking a chance to pop a mini. Does have the campfire, may or may not put it down. Not at this point. The storm's too close to his back. He's going to have to push forward. Like you said, multiple ballers are still in play, and with players not jumping out and not having pressure applied to them, you're looking at way less than 11 people. The player count remaining, that's not the number that are actually forced to engage each other right now. The people in ballers are almost being ignored. The heavy snipe from behind, and Mavjo picks up and Elim the push inside. He realizes him. Look at how many people are around in the same box.
And then said everybody goes up to the sky. No Elim coming out there. So all of a sudden, 3 up, 7 down. Talazeto on the ultimate high ground. Wesley Nutt and Blackso on the low ground. Jag ADX also on the mid tarp. Talazeto looking for shots. Has redeploy and the flint knock. Not going to find any. So ultimate high is going to be in his control. 10 players left, but he gets challenged.
One more all the way in the high ground. Just barely lost it. The flint knock flying up above. What a play. Takes the high ground back. Has ultimate high, looking down from above, only 29 builds. Has the redeploy to catch himself if he has to jump off, if he runs out of materials, but we'll see here in a second.
Somebody else just went up.
Yep, you heard it, there it is, the fish flying past. Felizito might take a shot. The flint knock kind of gets stuck in his own box for a second. This ADX dropping in Mexi from Loot Boy in the middle of your screen there. Tolzito still has the high ground, drops down to the next tarp. Mexi building out, trying to stay in the safe zone. This is the most players we've seen in a zone this tight in a long time. The Rift.
That's one. Is one player up in the rift. So you have one player up in the sky. Talazeto on ultimate high ground. Power, Psyches, and Blackso down the low. You have Talazeto in your top right. Power in your bottom right. Talazeto looking for it, and he finds Mexi out of the sky, and he gets the Cypher. Now he's dropping down with the redeploy, looking for Psychic on the campfire, and he finds it. Gets the Siphon, and it's enough to put him over the top for the victory royale. Talazito, you are mad indeed. The 2 Elims being the swing. 12 points there. Well done, sir.
The transition of the shot with the flint knock midair into an immediate descend, the redeploy to catch himself, and then the swap to the TAC AR and spray through the build while the player was sitting on top of both campfires. 200 IQ.
That was really well played from Talazeto. That's probably some of the best overall flint knock usage we've seen. We took high ground, I think, twice.
He did.
Going there, and then additionally picked up a sick Elim on the player out of the air with that heavy shot, and then dropped down. I mean, just well done.
Literally, you were saying he was unchallenged for high ground, immediately got challenged, and then used the flint knock on a single build out to take it back and force the player to drop. Well played. Well played indeed. What a loadout for the late game, too. Anyway, 43 players left. Next game, Europe.
42 players
42
left.
Players remaining. I just shouldn't say it sometimes. Looking for 41 players remaining here in a second. Someone trying to pick up another one. That was the first elimination for this player of this game. By the way, quick reminder, 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. If you would like to queue in, you're in the European region, now's the time to do it. Those last couple in. This is the last week for solos to qualify to punch that ticket to New York City. Don't forget it.
And after that, there's no more solo spots. 8 more players will be advancing from Europe. We'll have 6 from NA East, 2 from NA West, and 1 coming out of Brazil. And then the solos competition will be completely rounded out These are the final moments. Again, don't forget, we will go a little bit longer than the queue times because the average game of full Fortnite is about 26 minutes long. So you need to let everyone finish up, get all of those results tallied in, because every single time it's going to come down to the last match of the server, those top point lobbies. And right now, Motor is trying to make a case to get into one of those lobbies as he's sitting in this cone looking for a peek. 42 players remaining, so again, everyone playing absurdly safe. Nobody wants to put themselves at risk, and Motor recognized that, trying to pile in on that player as Paquito and Freck get taken down, and we have our top 40, Tohaj, being taken down as well, and we're still 14 players away from the first placement threshold.
Get into the first full move circle here in a second. Circle 6 to 7, transition to the northwest. It'll be an interesting one, too. A number of players up on top of a hill. You see in the minimap there, that left side based around the supply crate on the map. Holding the edit here. Motor trying to look out and see if there's anybody that might squeak out. He's looking back immediately behind him. I don't know if he realizes the player up above has an RPG. Oh, he does now. If he didn't before, surprise, there it is. A quick attempt. And the seal off, the close off of the edit there. Quick reset, well played from whoever that is inside.
Yeah, I just saw a nightmare situation where he had pushed out right after that for the shot and just accidentally stepped in front of the heavy sniper bullet. Now you can see that storm surge turning on right there. Motor more than fine, 502 above. Might regret popping that shadow zone since had a community launchpad placed right next to him, but he's...
Oh, I don't think he regrets it anymore. Honestly, Sundown, I think he's pretty happy about how that turned out. What a shot on rotation, a quick 180 in the combat to the dome, picks up an elim. Sundown's mouth is literally sitting open. You can't believe what he saw. That was ridiculous.
But one thing that players might not be aware of, he bunny hopped right there to get maximum distance. So what that is spamming your jump button right as you hit the ground to get a little bit of extra horizontal distance, and it carried him past the player. So he 180 and one hit him with the combat. That's what I talk about when, like, sometimes I feel like these guys are playing a different game than I am.
Oh,
yes, I know for a fact I can do all of those things.
That's not Fortnite. I don't know what that is, but that's not Fortnite. That's some craziness.
It's nuts. These guys pushing the envelope, but Mongrel, speaking of pushing the envelope, not going to pull a Mitro on the dual partner there, opens the door, gets over onto the side, and is desperately looking for every point he can. Doesn't want any interaction if he can avoid it. Will he find it? 2 HP? And he does! Motor gets taken down. 26 players remaining. Mongrel, that could have been your moment in the box. 2 HP. Erosi gets Aki. That's 2 more points going over for him. That could be huge. That could be it. And now Mongrel on the side of the zone, back up to 75 HP. What can he do with it? Will the siphon in the mats be enough? 70 materials on the side of the zone. 24 players left. Less than 5 minutes left in the queue times. If you want to go to New York City, you show up right now. And unfortunately, Mongrel is out. Let's see if he can get another queue as the rest of the match is now running. Provoked up on the high ground. You see Stompy, Martez also hanging out. Martez trying to take the high ground away, but SB Alman is up there as we hit the second placement threshold. Top 15 now.
Stompy picking up another elimination of the feed. Provoked at 3 eliminations from Fnatic here. Stompy picking up actually another one. Stompy absolutely owning the feed. Provoked trying to box up, stay alive, very edge of the zone. Takes the chance, an opportunity to pop that slurp and get a little bit of a tick. Moves forward, trying to top off the HP. Players fighting underneath him, looking for a chance to establish a base of operations on the move here. And it's going to be difficult. Does get the mini off, though. Looking for players from behind. Very common tactic here. You get into a safe area where even if it might be 3-4 meters, catches someone in the face with that combat shotgun. You look for any chance for a quick whip back, anybody moving in from the outside of the storm, because they're the ones that they're forced to move in. You can't sit out there. And so even if you have 3, 4, 5 feet ahead of them, you can look back and get a shot off and pick up an elimination. 40 seconds left on that European queue. Get in those games if you're going to try and get the last ones in. Quick edit, a peek through. Cubex gets tapped one time, very low. Now you have to remember there's a 60-second window after that damage where if storm damage maybe claims that player gets an elimination, it's going to count for provoked. Dropping in here, 8 players left. Quick swap, shot, back to back, and MQ goes down. Looking for another, players underneath on rotation. Quick headed down, a push in, finds another on the outside. One more, looks for another, gets it. Stompy gets another. 3 eliminations, the triple in the feed, and there's 3 players left. Provoke on the ultimate low ground right now. 1 mini pop, moves all the way to the edge, pops.
First
campfire down.
He's getting pressure from both sides now, and this is the top 3.
Oh.
Can't find the shot. It's aim. Cubex who gets it. That's 52 points. 4 provoked. And again, each one of these elims, each one of them matters more when you're in these high points lobby. Martaz on the high ground, Kubek's on the low ground, 39 to 49 points. Martaz wants to close this out. 27 builds to the 0 of Kubek's, and that's going to be it. Martaz closes that one out. 43 points so far. Queue times are closed. The last matches will be coming in, but for now, we're going to throw it back on over to Courage, who's in the studio.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, that is it for the queues out in Europe. You see how dramatic it can be in these final moments. We still have more games to bring you. We want to make sure you get caught up to speed on those exact last matches, but I know, Zeke, we've had some things you were taking a look at that you want to show everyone at home.
Yeah, man, let's do this. We've got some cool clips as we make our way into the station. Just some really fun clips that I wanted to take a moment to talk about. Wolfsies, of course, just had a dope flick shot. Look at that, over on violin, and just absolutely incredible. This is the level of skill. And I just want to highlight his rifling skills and just the way he approaches this. No builds, and you can just see he's using that brick floor, just ducking behind, making sure it's absorbing as much damage as possible. Airwalks. This is someone for me that I truly believe, and I want to see go to the World Cup Finals, especially with the last opportunity. Him and his duo partner Nikov have already qualified in duos, right? We even know his other teammates, Kinsar and Hunter, have also qualified. The difference is that Kinsar right now is the only member from Solary that is qualified for the solo format, and Airwalks is looking to do the same. We're going to watch this incredible spree. Just look at the way he's navigating all this density, right? His game sense and his awareness is on point. He's going to pick up 8 elimination total in this run. Now, unfortunately, he does not end up getting the Victory Royale, but just look at this. He's unbelievable. Once he gets going, it's very difficult for him, for anyone to stop him. Now, we're going to see his untimely demise here. He is going to go him off, and he does get traded back out. Now, keep in mind, though, he did make top 5, so he still got the points from that. Now, Tolecito, we saw this incredible play. I thought this was incredible because he used the flintlock to shut down Mexi up on the high ground. And then just look at the HP from everyone else. He has HP advantage. He's so confident. He's just going to dive down and try and go for the challenge. Even if the player had traded out, he would have been in a pretty good state either way. So it was a pretty good game for these players. I mean, it's finals day. You know everyone's showing up big, making plays.
Insane right there. To have the confidence to drop on down, redeploy. But guys, I'm not going to hold this up. We've got our final games from the European region. Who will make it to the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's find out.
Thank you so much, Courage. Also, just want to give a shout out real quick to the guy running the AR wall. Whoever picked the screen that was right there, the way the 2 lines lined up with the black floor.
That was actually
it looked, I was sitting here and I'm like, all right, that's a cool shot. So, you know, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We give a bunch of love to the observers. Give him some love right there. Great screen. But now we're on board. Again, these are the absolute final matches. Queue times are done. We are in Europe. 8 spots up for grabs for the Fortnite World Cup final. This is your last opportunity. If you are one of the best, you need to prove it right now, or you will not be on that stage. You won't be playing with Tfue, with X2 Jordan, with Stompy, and 6J trying to make a case for being there as he picks up Zegrin and then gets on his rotation.
Absolutely ridiculous. Between games there, while everybody was watching the quick replay analysis, Sundown and I were talking about the different regions and just how certain aspects of each region stand out, and I think it's unanimous agreement that Europe has some of the best technical Fortnite and some of the most aggressive play that I think we've ever seen, and it is so much fun to talk about and so much fun to watch because these players are playing on a level that I don't think you have to imagine back in the day when Fortnite was, you know, it was the battle royale portion was in its, you know, early days. No one imagined the game would get to this. You can't possibly have said, oh yeah, one day we're gonna watch players, you know, the technical skill and building and quickly editing and dropping in through floors and pushing walls and doing all these things, everything that they do. No one would have imagined it was going to come to this, the quick edits and push through Kais and picking up the first elim. It's things like this. You could not have told me this is what Fortnite was going to evolve into. And you have to admit, whether you love or hate the game, no matter what you think about it, how things have changed and grown is fantastic to see. People are really pushing the technical skill that I think Fortnite has to offer in a way that no one could have predicted.
I mean, it's actually absurd to me, and like I said, I've been able to be a part of the process from playtesting through all of this.
You've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, I've never would have fathomed that players were doing this. I think one of the first things when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's good because you can be aggressive because you can like build at someone in your own cover. You don't just like hide behind a wall and stuff. And now it turns into, instead, these guys are building literal tunnels and mansions and skyscrapers in the span of 2 seconds. I think one of the plays we saw yesterday with the player, one by one, threw a trap down, edited a ramp, and shot all in the span of 0.2 seconds. So I'm like, all right, you're playing a different game. Taking away Yarkos' ceiling with a single shot, double replaces it, double edits down in the space of nearly a half second. He gets it 50, or I was about to say 57, but 60 points now as the top 15 does
literally just take over.
The player gets taken down, and Skype is creeping up into that qualification range. Again, top 8 players will go, and this is the 3, top 15 is 5, top 5 is 7, the Victory Royale is 10. Each Elim is 1, and Skype certainly knows that. He's been playing absurdly aggro. If he hits you, he wants to go.
You saw for just a second in there a quick attempt at maybe a heavy sniper shot, but he realized it wasn't loaded, opted back to try and push through the ramp instead. Very quick thinking on Skype's part, the swap out for the combat shotgun instead of the tac. Pretty common there, player looting inside, but Skype more focused on rotation and position for a player that is this close to making it to New York City.
That was so good by him to go around the back side of that building so he could extend the shadow bomb timer up to now get up to the mid tarp. You have Light up on the high ground, 13 up Nay, now just dropping down on the tarp below Skite. So Skite is on secondary high, but he's boxed up right now. Light's going to begin to work top down as we still have a number of ballers who are going to begin to get shot out as we head towards the second placement threshold. Kinzo gets taken down there, and Light continues to rain shots down onto these ballers, saying, hey, you got to play Fortnite with the rest of us. Burn your mask, get out of there. Top 15 is on the board. John22 on Twitch picks up Calzo. Uno OG goes down, and Light continues to check his top, make sure he's safe, and then rain shots down. Dalo gets taken out as we get closer and closer to the top 10.
12 players remaining. Light still ultimate high ground. Skype right underneath, and I believe I saw for a moment Benji Fishy was in this game, but it looks like he's been eliminated at this point. Kaizen on the ultimate low ground, going to have to take an opportunity to heal up if possible. 9 players left, and Light is looking for a peak shot on a player in rotation, trying to challenge potentially the high ground. The pyramid of the play underneath kind of signals to me maybe not pushing up just yet, and I think Light realizes that, taking a chance to look down at maybe other players in the move, and yeah, he sees another one. There's a scent of potentially elimination. Light getting challenged for high ground now.
It's Rapti. Rapti's going for it and then drops it back down, realizing he's not going to be able to take it. Pops the shadow form and goes all the way down to the far side. We're nearing the top 5. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, look at the points next to the names. 56 on Light, 64 on Skype. This is for a trip to New York City as Light is able to pick up 59 there. They want everything they can. 6 Shades gets Rapti, but Skype trades it right back out and loops back into the zone. Skype on the edge of the mountain tries to find the jump pad, and he gets it going to the sky. Light trades out Miles on the top, so now 60 to 67 points, but Skype on 55 HP. Light pops the shadow bomb. What's he gonna do? Opts to drop down, so now Skype has to know he's down there. Skype has no mobility. Storm ticks it over. Light gets the Elim credit as well, and that's gonna push him up to 64 as well, so evens it up. We're getting down to the final moment.
Depending on where this was in their games played, we're looking at 64 and 67 players for Light and Skype respectively. That potentially could have been a prevention for Skype to make it to New York City, or pushing Light all the way close enough to qualify if he has a game left. People have to realize these end games, when you see players at those point counts fighting it out for the Victory Royale, it can mean the difference. We saw it, I think, last week in NA East, a team just literally fighting the last.
The Cooler Boys, the 2v2 from the low ground, got the Victory Royale, and the is the spot. So impact eliminations, high impact engagements, and everyone mattering. When the queues are closed, these are the last matches on the server, so not exactly live, but about 5 to 10 minutes delayed. You are deciding your trips. You're deciding other people's fates, and these are the moments when you need to clutch up. We've talked about before, you don't have to be the best, but you need to be better than the person across from you. And when you're dealing with the best of the best in a trip to New York City, that's still got to be really good.
Yeah. That's why I'm here behind the desk and not at the game.
I mean, I'm so glad these guys are so good. They make our job so incredibly easy.
And like, so much fun.
If the gameplay was really difficult, it'd be hard, but it's so hype. You guys are so good. Just shout out again one time, #Fortnite World Cup, to all of the players who have competed in the arena, in the tournaments, on Saturday, on Sunday. Thank you so much for doing this and making incredible plays and giving us this opportunity.
I do want to say too that one of the most common, I think, criticisms of competitive Fortnite is typically, the shots through, kills only, almost finding that elim, gets one big hit, can't quite find the second. Exotics does pick that elim up. I was going to say, one of the most common criticisms of competitive Fortnite is, everybody's sitting in 1x1s, not doing anything. You know, it's kind of slow play from time to time. I want them to pull this stream up and watch through these European games. Let us get to NA East and NA West and just how much pressure they apply at times. We literally just saw a player run out, push through a box with a heavy snipe and push inside and get an elimination, feeding into like window edits and shots through there with the combat shotgun. Competitive Fortnite, there's tension, there's action, there's pressure applied from every angle sometimes. You really have to dig in and watch long durations of this to see all the craziness that happens, because people are elevating the gameplay every time we watch it.
There's so many nuances, and I think the best part for me is every single day there's something new somebody is doing to push the envelope. Yep. There's always something somebody finds that is able to do. In every patch that comes out, somebody finds a new combination, or there's something that's slightly better, as Excite has now picked up 6 elims in this match. We've seen 3 of them. Woo! We've now seen 4 of them going to work with the legendary AR and the shadow bombs on the rotation, getting himself over to the sides of zones and then posting up and taking shots. You can notice, again, one thing, when you box up on an opponent's material, go over and up a grid space. You never want to be on the same level or one wall away from somebody else. Make them break 2 walls every single time, always.
You're asking to get pushed quickly if you land side by side, especially if you're about to force a fight for a wall. Sight looking for shots here on players in the rotation. A little bit ahead inside the circle. A rocket coming in a quick close. The close off the edit. Good reset there. He's going to catch it before it blows him up. Looking back behind. Player rotating the outside. He sees the silhouette. Watching for the shot. Takes it. Gets it. Voxy goes down up to 198 total HP. And top 15 here in one more player needs to go down. Sight the forefront of the storm now. Waiting his time. Trying to wait for that shadow bomb to tick out so we can box up.
This is an incredible game so far from Excite. With that pushing over, he's on a 13-point match right now. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Artur up on the high ground. You have Miko, Lars, Valboom, Motor, and Zyflare all on the mid-tarp. Rest of the players on the low ground. You see Noodle Kongan just get ticked over from the storm there. Motor going to begin to work top down, sitting on 41 points. Gets the headshot, knows there's white damage there. Player in the box, sees him get eliminated, but he wants to continue moving forward. That was Maxa and Excite, who both just got picked up, and Motor is completely out of builds with no elims. He has to find something or has to find a way to drop down. Luckily, a player building on the tarp beneath sees the shadow bomb drop, and he's going to use the pine tree to not take fall damage. Find Go-Go's on the side, and also gets all of his mats and a med kit on 80 HP. That could be huge. You have the ability with the campfire, but he's dealing with such limited ammunition in terms of the small rounds. Valboom goes down to Artur, and we get closer and closer to the final placement threshold before the victory royale. Motor opts to pop the campfire early. If he goes to full 100, this could end up being detrimental to him trying to medkit if we go to full heal. However, don't think that's going to happen with 90 seconds left. Antaret gets Miko, and we're into the top 5.
44 points right now for Motor. Pressure from above. Gonna have to box up and wait. See if anybody can make the move. Like you said, a big material pickup just moments ago for Motor, but not enough ammunition to make a difference. Artur on the ultimate high drops down and reconnects quickly. Very important move there. You see he places a couple surfaces and builds his way back up. Quick shotty shot. Anthrax trying to apply pressure. Player drops in, shots on the outside, gets Lars. Gonna have to rotate into the zone quickly as that storm is ticking for 10. 3 players left and pressure from underneath. Anthrax sitting on 2 builds, 15 bandages, but it's not gonna be enough to keep himself safe unless he picks up this elim, maybe some materials. 2 big hits, can't quite find the elimination. Gonna try and get ahead of the build. Shot from 1v1 heads-up situation. Motor ticking slowly, and Artor sitting on enough builds maybe to apply. Hop in and finds the elimination. Only 2, but it's still.
Get one of those is doubled in every single one of the placements, so each one of those interactions could your paycheck, but now we're swinging right on board towards one of the snowy biome areas in Happy Hamlet. 38 players in this match.
I think it's worthless.
And what's it like? As in you don't like the drop spot, or
terrible.
as in like the town like shouldn't have ever been developed?
I think that they have outdated laws about leashing your dogs, and I also think that the loot positioning is poor. But if you agree with me, hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
All right, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What is your favorite spot? I know Lupo's is a not Happy Hamlet, so what's your favorite solo spot? What's your current solo?
My go-to typically is going to be, okay, so there's a little pirate camp in the southwest of Pressure Plant that before the volcano went off, that's where I was consistently dropping. Recently, though, because of the changes, I like the dance club. If I'm dropping solos and I'm not going for, like, because there's a different place.
Competitive, super serious, ultra World Cup qualifier where you're dropping solos.
I'll go Valhalla, and if that's past the Snobby.
Okay, cool.
I like that west side of the map, typically because it is. The only problem is, like, you have the rocket base that to the northeast of Snobby. You have Valhalla that's up there that. But I mean, you also have a quad in there. You back to back. That was 2 shots sequentially.
62. Rotating and hits him with the headshot. We talk about the flintlock efficiency. Hands there, just wow. You talk about the pirate camp right there, going to west side of the map too. I know the little kind of broken house, but down there has 3 chest spawns, and you can rotate away. There's mushrooms there.
There's a lot of chances to move over there. I think the west side of the map right now.
Covered bridge down south in between Lucky down there has to be there. Had 2 spawns, and then the house had a spawn. So we're all in the one spot, and then you move right into old factories. It was really good, but.
Not sure about that shadow bomb. I think he thought about it. Way, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna push.
There. You are rolling around in the ball. You will be getting the ticks going there. Have to play aggression, have to play aggressive going through to turn that off, or just tag somebody.
Knocks in the feet a second. Lead being eliminated by the storm. Looks like that threshold did get to him. Down to 31 players. Need 1 more to go down before. Tyler taking quick. So far for Styler, 29 players left. We're 4 away from placement points. And this is so many people trying to rotate simultaneously through not even the ultimate low ground, but just kind of the mid is just full of people. Every single layer is a fresh tarp, and you have tons of new builds and a lot of metal coming up.
A lot of metal going through it, and you've got to work through the old builds as gets taken down as well as Habusen. Edits down, gets the shot, and then the tick over from the fall damage, I think?
No,
that player might have gone through.
I think that player that he shot actually survived. There was a storm.
Oh, it was the other player who went through. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, understood.
Full picking up an elimination with fall damage in your feet in the top. 4 elims right now. Ibusen trying to push up through. Like I was saying, the player builds that are out there right now, so difficult to push through if they're metal. It requires so many more melee hits from your pickaxe to try and break. It's going to slow you down. You're going to take storm damage from it. It's going to put you in a worse position. You won't be able to get to the forefront of the storm while other players are trying to rotate. Next from Loot Boy, looking for a peek shot there. Going to drop out of the box. Looks like a little bit of a delay there.
Just madness on that low ground. Everyone is down there as we're getting closer. Boom, there it is. Top 15 Styler does get taken down on that mid-tarp by Mods. Harvey gets pieced in. Mexi gets taken down by Zealous. Bayon there. Brilliantly done. Topped out on the light ammo. Kripa gets full as Mods gets blazing, and we're into the top 10. Top 5 being left.
Drops Martaz in with the edit. Catches him on the move with the corner edit and a quick swap. Oh, man. Sorry. That was insanity. What a quick reaction there, man. Now at 2 eliminations. Only 24 builds, but G just picked up all that brick a second ago. He's digging through any materials he has left. Bodeban all the way in the high ground right now. A single layer across, but it doesn't really matter. No one's looking up, and he's got RPGs for days. Looks like he's going to look down from above and try and take shots.
Good pickups from Kripa on this mid-tarp right now as Botaban is going to work down. Bayon on the mid-tarp. Top 5 just happened as Ibusen gets ticked over. Shadow, will he be able to pick it up? Bayon gets Shadow, though, on the turn. Can Bayon catch back up to the zone? And
ramp.
Kripa gets caught by Botaban on the high ground. The single tarp strategy on the high ground. The one rocket he fires down for an Elib and the victory out. He says you can take that out. 11 points coming out from Botaban.
Well played there. Even just the single layer of brick, because there were so many layers of material below, that's actually really, really good thinking on his part as he's moving forward. He looks down and says, no one's going to challenge me. There's so much mass in the way that no one's looking up. I just need to keep this, I got to find a spot to connect it. And he dropped down and did that, that's a super common strategy, especially in duos. Typically you have players that are one's applying pressure, taking shots at people, while the other drops down and reconnects the builds, and they swap roles back and forth. I think we see Tfue and Cloaksy do that all the time. If you watch the stream, it's super, super common.
Zay and Saf, another duo that kind of I don't want to say like made that more prolific, but like watching their VODs and watching them do it is kind of like, oh, here's the blueprint for how you go about doing this
exactly.
correctly.
You're connecting the canopy of your build to structure that's already established underneath, because then if somebody shoots out what's way back in the storm, you're not going to run back and replace it. But now it doesn't matter because you have another branch connecting underneath.
And then you're all good. Well done from them there as we're on board here with Solari Airwalks. 49 players left, so just a tick under half of the lobby. Storm Circle 5 is closing, and we're also going to be rotating through pressure plant, so lots of geysers, lots of innate natural mobility, and a decent amount of mats and metal that can be reused, so it should be interesting to see what ends up happening here as we hop on board here with Train H's Alpha. Train H being the team Train Hard, hits the geyser and says, I'm going to zone.
There's players all the way up on the drone in the sky above. You see him Alpha on rotation, checking up above quickly. Going to layer up twice to stay away from the player underneath. You don't want to get dropped in on somebody else's structure. Replacing the ramp with a cone so you can get quick edits in whatever direction you need. I do want to make a quick statement. You see these kind of edits, he's looking for shots now, and then he'll quickly do a reset after he feels like he's shot for long enough. You don't want to get caught gargoyling, tunnel visioning on somebody where you're exposed and someone might take a shot. And there's a lot of players in front of him. He might not see them, but they're there. But what I was going to say is oftentimes we see players do like the window edit and then instantly reset so that they can get transparency through the metal or the brick. More often now I've been seeing players do a door instead of a window, because at this level, even that imagine you have 3, 4, 5 frames where there's a window open, someone might sneak a snipe shot or rocket something in through the window and you're gonna get punished. Door does put the door in and it's still just a solid surface, so you prevent any. Yampi there, I was going to say, you might want to reset that window. Speaking of.
Mongrel in the lobby, Crew in the lobby as well. You can see Mongrel currently sitting on 55 points. Last time we saw him, he was at that 50 mark. So down to it. You can also see Storm Surge. He's 98 damage above it. Again, that will get turned off at 30 players, so expect aggression to come out. Second Shadow Bomb being popped and just trying to get to the far side of the zone, get away from people, box up, and Mongrel wants to play patiently, wants to not be eliminated early. Generally, you're used to seeing him play much more aggressive, but with everything on the line, with the queues being closed, with the last opportunity to book a seat in New York City, he knows he can't mess up. He has to get points here if he wants to be going.
You got to be thinking these players too when they're back.
Airwalks and Alpha Amons are both in the lobby. I apologize, but this place is stacked.
No, it's insane. You're right. I was going to say, players typically too at this level that are watching the queue and watching the leaderboard, they're going to ready up and then they're going to immediately go look to see where they are on the board as they go into the next game. Even sometimes they have a chance during their, like when they're boxed up in here, they'll pull up the leaderboard if they can on the website, something like that, and see if they can find out just how many points they need to make in order to place. Does not surprise me that Mongrel's trying to play a little safer, pushing over the top of this campfire player underneath. Another one boxing up inside metal. A lot of layers here. An attempt to maybe get a little bit of an advantage here in terms of elevation, pushing.
Oh, Baller almost took out his build there, which could have been absolutely devastating. There you go. Leon Flares goes down. 26 players remaining. Wolfies gets picked up by Krith. Mongrel up to 56 points. Looking for it, and that's 59 now as he hits the top 25. Player directly next to him on the box, but trying to pop that. And Crew goes down as well. Was in the top 25, but that was the player who was in the second place last time we saw. You have Windstrike Mayhem, who was within distance. Now you have Airwalks, the Solari player, at 53 points, trying to drop him down. RPG up on the high ground. He follows it right away. SWAT gets swatted out of the sky, but Astro SMZ is also making his push for the top as he's picked up his third Elam since we've been watching. Mongrel gets another one, picking up Romu as we get closer to the top 15. Airwalks getting some reloads into that combat shotgun, wants to make sure he has every tool available as we push down to the final fight. Airwalks up on the ultimate high ground. ETQ rounding around the storm. Mongrel going to challenge on the mid-tarp, and he gets Carrera, and he also gets into the top 15 as we slide on board. With Train H's Alpha puts the trap down, and he gets Astro. Astro knocked out. Could be his World Cup run over there.
26 points thus far for Alpha, but not a big deal. He's still putting on a good show. Shots back behind, finds another player. Cell caught in a box just outside. Rotating forward, 9 players remaining. Skalama goes down to fall damage to the feed. ETQ eliminated by that combat shotgun, so powerful in these close range fights. Alpha, 6 eliminations, looking for the 7th, pushing through, applying pressure through the wall, does not want the player inside to take the chance to get anything. Mongrel picks up another elimination, then immediately gets eliminated, goes out in 7th place, almost the top 5 for those points, only going to get 5. Still be big enough to make his way to New York City. We will have to see before too long. Top builds, a mini opportunity. Anything to heal right now is going to be big. You don't want to be caught by players that may have positioning, and Oldies does in fact have that positioning. A 1v1. Players are basically 1-2 boxes away from each other, and Oldies may take the chance to rotate up out of the storm. We'll see here, stuck against the edge. Airwalks, the ultimate high ground, just waiting. 97 builds for Oldies, but only 1 for Airwalks.
52 to 58 in points. This could end up being the difference. Oldies looks to go for it, and he gets the zone back from Airwalks. He takes away the zone, but Airwalks knocks him down. No fall damage coming through. Can Airwalks find the shot?
No build.
Oldies just keeping the zone in the area, and Oldies gets the victory royale, pushes him up to 55. Airwalks falls at 58 with no builds.
Imagine being Oldies knowing you just eliminated Airwalks from Solary, Mongrel from Secret. You've got to be feeling really good about that game. A big push for points, too. That was, like you said, in the middle of it, a very, very stacked lobby. A lot of pressure, too, because you have so many players now in these games that we're showing you. You have to remember at home, the ones that we're trying to pick the ones that are best for affecting the leaderboard, because these are the plays that you need to see. This is Europe, by the way, if you're just tuning in. If you've popped in a little late, we're trying to push our way through these games because there's so many things happening, but all these lobbies are going to be so intense because everyone is vying for those top 8 positions to qualify to go to New York City.
And that's what it's all about, getting a spot in the Fortnite World Cup final. This is week 9 of the online open qualifiers, the last chance in the solos competition. And if you want to sit on that stage, if you want to be playing with the best of the best, the Bizzles, the Vivids, the T-Fuse, the Dementos, all of those top players on the stage with FaxFox and Vanny, you have to clutch up right now in these final moments and against the best players, because if you're unfamiliar with how the tournament matchmaking works, it's 3 hours, 10 matches, and as you climb in points, you're matched with players close to you in that point range. So the matches only get more difficult, the players only get better, and these are the times, these are the fights you have to win if you want to be playing for your shot at the $30 million.
If you're watching, this is the final game for Europe. To qualify for solos for New York City, to play for 30 on a stage bigger than any stage Fortnite has ever seen. This is the last chance for Europe. There are a lot of fans out there of a lot of these players. Do tag your favorite players and show them some love. Keep the negative. Has done something that not many people. A focus on every player that has played out of their minds. And I want to be sure that all these people that have played, have qualified, have tried their heart out, supporting the heck out of them. So again, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Please let your favorite players know that they've done an excellent job. Win or lose, doesn't matter how many eliminations. All these people have a lot of heart.
Lol, lag. Ja, moin. Dieser Lag. Lag is real.
Tarp gonna hop on board with him.
Ah ja, jetzt.
Some top off, we've seen a number of players push. Spots coming out of Europe, top 25, the first placement threat. Good spot to hit it with the 4 shadow bombs, using the first one now.
The stream's got to be feeling good about how that.
Wer ist gerade noch im Stream? Schreibt mal rein, Kommis bitte.
Excellent thus far. Eventually see Vato at some point. We'll have to find out. 28 players, 26, 25. What a quick shift in player count. Points going out. 3 for everybody left on the board. Down to 22 already. This rotation has been lethal for so many. Such a big shift, down to 21 now. Chip goes down, 20. Every time I feel like I say it, we're about to see 19. There's another elimination. The Toxic Donut removed from the game. Blacksuit pushing forward here, 2 eliminations. Don't want to get caught by someone boxing up, as we've seen so many times.
Lasst gerne ein Abo und Like, da würde mich auf jeden Fall freuen.
Maybe land somewhere inside a box. The launch pad going to move forward with the storm. Excellent position now, has a chance to kind of wait and peek back behind. Someone is up above. He's got to be careful there. That edit going to jump up and move on through to the next section of this circle. Still not stopped. We're very close. You look at the mini-map, the blue and white cross over the circles. Once that happens, you know players are going to start boxing up and peeking back for sure. Back-to-back shots, back-to-back eliminations.
No, he only got one of them. Daryl got the other one. That could end up being huge. Like we said, every single one of these interactions mattering, but Blackso trying to push the envelope and get every elim anyway. Will he be able to find it? He hits the shot, gets the siphon onto Purge. All of a sudden, Blackso has single-handedly fragged his way into the top 5, 57 points, but we've seen more. He needs to keep pushing. This is the last match on the server. This is the top 5. Frenzy, Nate, Screaky, Masato, and Blackso will be closing out the European region. Blackso right now extending the timer out on the Shadow Bomb. He's in your bottom right. He drops down. Nate gets taken out by Masato. Frenzy begins to work. Top down. Takes 55 fall damage. Blackso pushes in. Him and Masato in the same box. Masato disengages around the side. Blackso desperately trying to find the shot. Needs everything he can. Top 4. Screaky goes down as Masato finds it. Frenzy continues working from the top down. But Blackso Blackso needs the space. No builds left on Frenzy. 47 points for him. 57 for
freuen.
Blackso. This is his chance. Can he get Lestream to the World Cup final? He's looking for it. He finds the first shot. 88. Can he convert? No. Frenzy picks up the Elim, but he finds the 30 right after. Needs the Elim and the victory royale. 461. But can it be enough? And can he close it out? He's looking for the shot. 49 shield, 85 health. No builds from the low ground player. Frenzy gets cleaned up. 61 for Lestream's Blackso. But will it be enough?
GG, Digga. Tschüss, wie viel da gebaut wurde.
We will find out, folks. 5 weeks of solo competition have led to this moment in Europe. The queues are done, and now it is time to find out who exactly has made it on through to the Fortnite World Cup finals. Who will take up those final spots from the European region?
I think it's time to take a look.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, congratulations
6. Platz.
to
GG,
Andretta,
Digga.
who throughout the entire
Mongrel
day
kriegt einfach
was in
4.500
that top
Euro.
spot.
GG.
Crew, Skype, Light, Mongrel
Was für
has made it
10.000
on
glaube ich
in.
da.
Was what everyone was wondering who was going to do it.
Yep.
People had high
10.000
expectations. He clutches in the end. Mku, Teak, and who did we just see in that last game?
There you go, man. Blackso, he makes it in for Lestream. That's huge for the French-speaking community because we saw Solary already go through, and Lestream kept getting edged out every week, but now it's Blackso's time to shine. Really quick though, Andretta. So you talked about this guy's been on fire all day long.
Yeah.
We actually kind of pulled stats on his previous week qualifiers. For the previous solo weeks, 291th place, 127, 218, 610, and now first. All day long. Went from like 50 viewers on Twitch to like 20,000. Send Andretta some love. All his hard work has truly paid off. These are the 8 that are coming through, Courage.
Congratulations to them. I think there's one more thing we can do. It's time to punch their ticket. Zeke.
I'll start over here.
Start over there.
Boop. There you go.
Andretta made it. Crew made it. Let's hit the middle one. Skype made it.
There you go.
Light. Mongrel. Congratulations again, brother. In the middle. Mku, and finally, Teak, and wait.
There you go.
Blackso as well.
There you go.
The 8 players from Europe who will join Moffin and Rona season, as we saw earlier, making it on in. Incredible stuff. Europe was an insane day today, just as we expected. High-level lobbies, tons of people left all the way to that 5th zone. But here's the beauty of it, folks. We've got more action to bring you. We're going to go to a quick 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll catch you up to speed on some of the other regions before we kick off the NA East action.
Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's gonna be there, all right? DJ Zeke's gonna be there. DJ Sundown's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? I'm DJ Zeke. I don't need no card. But what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen, all right, June 15th, 16th at the LA Forum. Day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right, Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler alert, it's dope. Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
Yeah.
Heyo Fortnite fam, Sundown here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Flintlock pistol and its impact on competitive play.
The Flintlock pistol is a great addition. Sometimes it'll just change the course of a fight.
The things you can do is insane. You can get height with it. It shoots pretty far. You can almost use it as an AR at the beginning game just to get one shot. It'll hit for like 80, 90 in the body.
And this is looking really good for Hardfire, but the Flintlock is going to get the high ground. Nikiva, such a smart play.
The Flintlock is a common and uncommon weapon that uses heavy ammunition. It does 86 or 90 damage depending on rarity, and it has a 2x headshot multiplier. This means that outside of a sniper rifle, it has the highest single-shot damage potential in the game. However, the flintlock only allows for one shot at a time, has pretty decent damage fall-off, and also takes 3 seconds to reload. In addition to all of this, the flintlock also has a mobility component to it. When fired, it will impulse the shooter backwards, and if the bullet strikes a target, it will impulse the target away from the shooter. This can allow for some tricky plays to be made.
Player there, runs out into the storm, jump, finds him, yeah!
We've seen a decent amount of use out of the flintlock during the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. So let's hear from some of the qualified players to get their opinion on its addition to the game.
Leute, wenn man sich also kriecht damit.
One weapon, it will be this one. You can actually like kill someone from 200 HP to 0 without taking any shots.
Boah, Digga.
And it's also really good for competitive play because if you're high ground or if you want to get away from a situation, the flintlock, when you use it, it knocks you some distance so you can get away or you can get high ground over someone. I think it just adds a lot of like different plays you can make with it. I think it's good.
I personally really like the flintlock. I think it's a really good weapon. I think it's a really strong weapon.
Ja, das ist richtig.
You need to know how to use it. You need to base your whole gameplay around it if you want to use it right.
Das ist richtig, das ist eine sehr gute Waffe, ist der geil. Das ist eine anders fette Waffe.
It's one of the better things that have been added skill-wise. I like that it's so versatile. I really like it competitive. Definitely deserves a spot here.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you saw how the flintlock can be utilized in the right hands. What is the best flintlock play you've done or seen? Share it with us using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll be seeing you guys on the battle bus, or maybe flintlocking through the air.
Okay, Google. Ändere die Farbe von Licht auf Weiß. Sekunde. Google. Okay, Google. Helligkeit auf 50%.
Tut mir leid, ich verstehe nicht ganz.
Ehre. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Ändere die Farbe von Licht auf Rot.
Sicher, die Lichtfarbe der Lampe Licht wird auf Rot geändert.
Na gut, reicht dann auch wieder. Wieso ist es so laut? Ah ja. Ah ja. Dr. Lube, Digga. Ganz cooler Junge, Alter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup. This is the final week for solo qualifiers, so if you're trying to make your way to New York City to punch that ticket.
So Leute, ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß im Stream. Auf jeden Fall lasst ein Abo und ein Like da, wäre auf jeden Fall korrekt. Und damit verabschiede ich mich hiermit. Bis zum nächsten Mal und ciao.